Day seemingly goes by while there isn't a bit of a problem if you're in the world of Harry and Meghan. As we told you recently, they've decided to let go of their very expensive, to them, very important public relations team, Sunshine Sachs. Oh, that's the story. I find interesting this because, most major celebrities do have their own public relations team. It's part and parcel of their deal. But of course, when you look at the PR for Harry and Meghan, particularly over the last, say, 2 years, none of it's been spectacular. And then again, some might suggest that this is reflective on that particular team, no matter how difficult the possible client may be. And I'm saying that in impartiality, obviously. But it's very difficult, isn't it? Because, you really only stand by how good your public relations or publicity is. So it's interesting to note that once again, Harry and Meghan are, or shall we say, going into very difficult waters regarding their latest venture. But as ever, what is it? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Thank you for joining me today. We're in Savoy Gardens, by the way, in case you're wondering. Wonderful area of London, and literally just around the corner at Savoy Place is an historical place for broadcasting. Don't think they'll be putting a plaque up for me while I've left here today, do you? But literally that particular corner, Savoy Place, was the place, the original BBC studio, where they broadcast their very first broadcast before moving into, of course, Broadcasting House in 1930. Amazing when you think about it, because everything starts somewhere, doesn't it? And I don't know if you know this, but one of the biggest successes of the BBC at that time was the hotel dance bands. Hence the reasons the Savoy, attached to Savoy Place, obviously, was on the radio frequently. Not only that, they had their own record label and sold millions of 78 records. I know, we're all too young to remember that, aren't we? We've seen it in Downton Abbey though, haven't we, and upstairs. That's right, that's how we know these things. Glad you're with me on that, Over to your breaking roll story of the day. This story, is going to be very difficult, in fact, for the PR team for Harry and Meghan, which apparently is themselves, and it's now a small group of company with the Archwell Foundation. Now, this is because, as we know, we're looking forward to the docuseries, their very big primetime thing streaming on Netflix, which is a sort of reality show. Think Kardashians with less trash, hopefully, and more importantly, of course, a little bit more content. That's what Netflix at least are hoping for finally all that money that they've given out. As I've said to you many times here on the show though, they're not really too fussy, because the PR that they have had from Harry and Meghan has been incredible. You couldn't simply buy that level of mentions in newspapers, radio, TV on a daily basis. But as ever, they still need eyeballs to screen. And with many people deciding to relinquish the opportunity to take Netflix now, you can either get ones with ads, no ads, non-stream, there's a list, isn't there? We're free here. That's what we like, isn't it? Absolutely. But now the bigger problem is, of course, Harry and Meghan, how they're going to promote it. And that's the problem now for Netflix, because there's a new battle looming. They believe that they should make a pre-recorded interview that should be syndicated around the world for all media to take, print, copy, and of course put on their platforms. How very kind of them. Netflix though wanted a little more of an aggressive campaign, available for interviews and of course popping up on breakfast shows, chat shows, possibly something like The Late Show over in America, the one with James Corden. They need to make sure the public know about it. Now, this will be new territory for Harry and Meghan, They are now celebrities. They've got to sell their products. And just in case they were wondering that they didn't need to do this, according to a very good source, and as ever, allegedly, it's part of their contract. They have to go out there and market it. Now, of course, if they don't market it and it doesn't do well, then Netflix are very much in their right minds to say, we needed more of a campaign and you weren't willing to support it. Of course, if they do go out there and it still doesn't do well, unfortunately for them, that's the curtain. As ever though, as I've often said here on the show, that's showbiz too. A lesson Harry and Meghan are finding out the hard way. Neil Sean, Savoy Place, London.